Hello, my name's Aaron Beadle, and this is a how to play video for Kinswinds, which is a game I developed. So we can follow along with the hint cards that are provided. Find which button does that. So these will guide us through the game. There is a rule document that I will be referring to occasionally. So the game involves 60 cards split into 12 copies of each of the 5 suits. So 12 Primacy, 12 Legacy, and so on. At the start of the game, you're going to shuffle these together and deal 7 to each player. 4, 5, 6, 7. So each player will start with 7 cards, and then they'll set 2 of these as their initial scorecards. So what your set scorecards are conditions by which you score points at the end of the game. So if I have Legacy and Wisdom set as my scorecards, then those are the 2 conditions that give me points at the end of the game. So I'll read the scoring condition for Wisdom, which is gain 1 point for Wisdom in all hands of players that voted no to score. And Legacy, which is gain 1 point for each discarded Legacy card. Voted no to score is just referring to the vote at the end of each round that can end the game. So the game finishes on a vote. So each round is going to involve 5 steps. All players play at the same time through those steps. In step 1, you will draw 1 card, or if you have less than 5, you'll draw until you have 5 cards, and then you'll make sure one of your scorecards is revealed. You never reveal both cards. You just make sure one is revealed at this point. In step 2, you pass 3 cards face down to another player. So this lets you control the distribution of cards in the game slightly, which affects all of the scoring conditions. And generally you'll want to orient these so that they face towards the player, so that that player can tell who passed them the card. Once you pass 3 cards, you then take any cards that were passed to you. So say I had these here, I would pick these up. And just to clarify, the pass 3 is just pass 3. It's not. There's no other rules. You can pass them to which players you want in any distribution you want. So it's not like 4 players you pass 4 and 5 you pass 5. It's always pass 3. In step 3, you can discard and replace your scoring cards with cards from your hand face down. So if we say this is the deck, so I might think I want to make Legacy scoring better, so I'll discard it, which now means Legacy is worth 1 point, and then I'll place this Legacy, and then I can also discard that Legacy and place this Legacy face down. So now I have 2 face down cards, and I might think Wisdom is weak, so I can then discard Wisdom and maybe set Wealth. And all of this is based on the perceived strength of the card, so how strong you think the scoring is for each of these cards. In step 4, you get to use the abilities of the cards in your hands. So you choose one of the 5 suits and you reveal any amount of that card from your hand to use its ability. So players will confirm they're ready, they'll count down, and then on the count of 0 they reveal the cards they've chosen. So you can only use one suit, you can use any amount, so you could reveal no cards, or you could reveal all of that suit that you have, or anything in between. And then the effects are applied in the order listed at the top of the card, or noted at the top of the card. So Wisdom is 5th, Order is 3rd. Let's say somebody played Wealth, that's 4th, so it would be the player that plays Order would go first, then the Wealth player, then the Wisdom player. If 2 players play the same card, the player with the most cards in their hand will get to choose who goes first, or failing that you can just randomize it, flip a coin or roll a dice. So once the abilities have all been applied, and each of the 5 suits has its own ability that you can read on the card, the cards go back to the controlling player's hands. And the round ends with the 5th step, which is a vote. So on round 1 you don't do this, you go straight to round 2 and start back at step 1 with draw 1 card, then pass 3, then discard your scoring card. But pretending that this was round 2, you would now finish with the votes. You place either your yes or your no vote face down. Once everyone's done, you reveal. Any player that votes yes loses 1 point from their final score for each no vote. And if any player votes yes, the game ends. If nobody votes yes, the next round begins. But if any player votes yes, scoring occurs. The game ends and scoring occurs. So for scoring, every player reveals all of their cards. Then they read the scoring condition for each of their 2 set scorecards, and these have to be 2 different cards. You can't score on the same card twice. So I would read Legacy and Wealth. See, Legacy is worth 1 point for every discard Legacy. With Wealth is worth an amount of points equal to the highest amount of wealth in a single hand, and then the most points would win. In the published version of the game, there are no vote cards, so it's up to players how they want to approach the voting, with concealing something in your fist as a yes vote and an empty fist as a no vote. And you can use anything you want for that, dice or just pieces of paper. And that is the whole game. The highest points wins, and then you just shuffle the whole deck back together and you can have another game. It's short, it's relatively deep, at least for a filler game. It can involve quite a lot of thought. It's $18 on the Game Crafter, unless you catch the crowd sale, in which case it'll be a bit cheaper. But that's how to play. There's a full rulebook with the game and on the website. You can check this rulebook out. Don't have to pay or anything. And it's got all the clarifications and rules. I hope that assists you in playing the game. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.